interview you've been waiting for. I have not only a wrestling superstar, not only a comedic superstar, but a viral rant superstar sitting in between me and Larry in the flesh. Corey Ron Forrester, my buddy, the living legend Larry, not Larry the Cruncher Zabisco, but Larry. Corey, how you feeling tonight, my brother?
Man, I'm feeling real good after that introduction. I appreciate you, man. It's been a while since I've been hyped up that much.
Look, whenever you need hype, you don't need helium. You can come to me.
You got it.
Forget going to the dentist to get your teeth done. You can come here to get hype, baby. That's what we're here to do. And
you got it.
We're very glad to have you. People have always said, my people that live in the country, and I'm from the country. I'm from Aden, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah,
and I have definitely. I have a lot of country friends who were Anglo-Saxon who had a more progressive mindset. I'm not saying they're 100% liberal. I'm not saying that. Right. I'm saying more progressive. Right. And so that was one of the things that was going on with us when we saw your viral rant. And for those of you that didn't get a chance to see Corey's viral rant, here is a small clip. And then we're going to get into the brain of the man behind a rant that basically screamed, I like America, but I don't like insurrections. So take a look at this really, really quick, ladies and gentlemen.
One comedian went viral after he posted an angry rant online. Corey Ryan Forrester usually posts funny videos on Twitter offering a progressive point of view from a typically conservative Deep South. But after the violent and destructive and deadly riots at the Capitol from Trump supporters, he said this.
Do you not ever just sit there and think, my kids are going to see this. My grandkids are going to see this. They're going to put it in the textbook, and you're going to look like the dumbest mother in the world. Nobody will give a about Watergate. Nobody. That is... Dude, I'm out of breath from how stupid y'all are. What is it that this country doesn't give you that you think you have to do some like this?
Ladies and gentlemen, the man with the greatest rant of this year is sitting right here. So, Corey, tell us what you was thinking when you decided to post that rant.
Well, I know this is going to sound odd to some people, but I literally wasn't thinking anything. It might not be hard for a lot of people to understand, having watched that was a moment of white hot rage. Like most of the time when I post a video, like I'm a video posting son of a bitch. I'm a comedian and there's been a pandemic and I haven't been able to tour. And so I my relationship with my phone has changed a lot during the pandemic. So in that specific instance, if you will notice, now some people found humor in it. I wasn't trying to be funny at all. I think what it is people hear my accent and they just laugh at anything that comes out my mouth, which is good. That's a cheat code. That's a cheat code. You know what I mean? But what was going through my mind was I was already mad at the fact that the insurrection had happened. You know, I thought in my mind, I was like, look, I know good and well that no politician, no matter how good they are, can fix everything. But I did feel like, all right, man, we're moving in the right direction. Donald Trump was a very divisive SOB, and I think that we're in a moment of healing. And then this happens, and I'm like, God, guys, we were here, man. Then I had a buddy. The reason that I made that video specifically was I had a buddy who accidentally got put into a group text because he has the same name as another dude that we went to high school with. And this was 2 days before the election, but he shared a screenshot of it with me. It was a bunch of buddies who were like basically talking back and forth with like, hey, are y'all going to DC for the riots? Are y'all going to DC for the riots? I think you need to get up there. So when I first saw the insurrectionist video, my brain did the thing that I think a lot of ours do to protect ourselves, which was like, well, you know, those are outliers. I don't know none of those people. That's just crazy people, whatever. Now, the people that in this text group, they actually didn't go up there, but the fact that they were entertaining it and the fact that I then knew like, oh my God, some people that I played football with have this mindset. I was like, they're not outliers. I see these people at the grocery store and now that's kind of scary. And then I started getting mad and I did what any white comedian does when they get mad, and I screamed at my phone. and then a bunch of, and the craziest thing is all of a sudden I go from, 30,000 Twitter followers. Oh my God, my belt fell. I'm sorry. I thought it was a snake. I'm in the country. I always think everything's a snake. All of a sudden my following gets bigger off of that. And I guess that's good and all. People hung around for the comedy, but man, I was just white hot mad, and I was embarrassed. And I've always done this thing where, if Trump supporters are going to be loud and they look and sound like me, I feel like I've got to be twice as loud, so that if maybe some people can go, all right, it ain't all of them. Like, that's very important to me.
and I can appreciate that, because I think that we're humans. Mm-hmm. And when you see someone that maybe throughout your life you've been taught to stereotype, rightly or wrongly, you look at that individual and think, for example, we're talking about you. He's probably country. He's probably supporting the rioters, blah, blah, blah. But, me and Larry we're older, we're well-versed, and we know that everybody who dresses like you doesn't support this chaos. They don't support that nonsense. And so that leads me to believe, what has brought you to the mindset that you share, the more progressive mindset?
To me, it's as simple as I travel, and I've been doing comedy I started doing comedy when I was 16 years old. Now, granted, I don't think that before 16 I was a bad guy, but I will say that, first off, I'm 30, I'm about to be 34. If I look back on stuff that I believed at 30, I kind of go, damn, man, I'm always growing. I think, especially being a white man in the South, it takes a lot to undo the stuff that you were just taught and didn't even think anything about. Right. And those are the things that have been my hangups. And I keep telling some of my buddies from around here, I was like, hey man, it's okay that you thought that at one time, because when I think about school and how they whitewash everything, it's like, man, they didn't give half of us a chance. And we also grew up before we grew up before the internet, when you were told something by a teacher, that's the last you'd hear of it. There wasn't no Wikipedia to go to. If you wanted to learn more, you had to go to the library. And if you go to the library, you're going to pass, several mud holes before you get there that are way more entertaining than the library. So you just know what you know. So when I started doing comedy at 16, even though I stayed in the same area, which was Chattanooga, Tennessee, I stayed in the same area. Different comedians would come in, Black, Asian, gay, drag, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to meet them and I'm going to talk to them. And all of a sudden I start hearing these things that completely question the validity of things that I learned. And then I just had people, matter of fact, I got to hang out with D.L. Hughley and guys like this who would just matter of factly say things. And I'd be like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. We did what?
You clutched your pearls.
I thought as soon as the civil rights that it was over. You know what I mean? So it was just basically questioning a lot of things. And then there were some things that maybe I didn't come around on that weren't questioned for me, and I didn't have to come around on. But basically I learned by meeting other people from different walks of life that it's maybe the stuff that I was taught by a bunch of white people who were taught by a bunch of white people who were taught by a bunch of white people could possibly be horse shit, And the thing that I've had to do is besides forgive myself is forgive the people who taught me those things, because for the most part I do believe that they just didn't know no better either. But the thing is we don't live in a time now where you get to just say, I don't know no better, because the information's out there. If you're not someone who can travel like me, you can holler at anybody of any walk of life and any color on the internet. It's easy. Just click, get on Twitter, talk to somebody.
Right.
There's two things I think you said that were really important. One is that once you start traveling, it took you out of your normalcy and you saw other people, experienced other people. I think that's one thing that Americans just don't do enough.
Yeah.
We just don't travel enough. And oftentimes when people travel, they travel to places that are somewhat similar to where they're from, instead of really getting out there and going to places that will take them out of their comfort zone. And then when you do, you don't have all of those biases when you come back home, because you realize, that stuff was BS. They told us this was in a book, but when I saw the real deal, that's not what it is, But the other thing that you mentioned, which I thought was really important, is learning to forgive yourself and forgive those that have felt this way or believe this, because that's what they were taught. the problem I have, and I think a lot of the problems other people have, are dealing with these politicians that actually, the politicians, these pundits, these news, these talk shows, they actually know better.
They do.
It's not a matter of them teaching, learning, just going out there saying something that they were taught. They actually know better. These are people who are highly educated. They are worldly, and they have decided that they want to go out there and spew this stuff. So I mean, what do you do? What do you say to your friends when they? I mean, I know there's plenty of people out there listening to Rush Limbaugh. Not saying rest in peace, just rest. However,
they ain't listening to his ass no more.
You know,
that's a record, a recording.
When you have people that are listening to like Newsmax and on Parler all day, I don't even know how you get through to them.
Well, look, man, at the end of the day, on a lot, there are such things as lost causes. And well, maybe they're not a lost cause, but some of them ain't worth your time, because in almost everything in this world, like when I quit cigarettes, for instance, the first couple times I tried quitting, it didn't work, because the only reason I tried quitting was because a girl told me she didn't want me to smoke cigarettes. I myself didn't want to quit smoking cigarettes. Therefore, I picked them back up. You have to want very badly to change your behavior in order to do it. And these people do, some of these people do not want to. The only thing I try to say, the only people I can talk to is like a lot more moderate people and maybe already liberals, is like, we've got to change the way that we talk about people. For instance, it's kind of piggybacking on what you just said. I hear people say, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's dumb. And I'm like, no. We have to stop saying dumb when we mean bad, because they're not dumb. Like, don't get me wrong. There's politicians who, when you compare them to other politicians, are dumb, but in order to convince a large group of people, however large that group may be, to elect you somewhere, you have to possess some type of intelligence. A lot of times it's sociopathic, which is unfortunate, but they're not dumb, they're bad. And when you say they're dumb, you let them off the hook, because basically what you're saying is they don't know no better, we shouldn't have elected them. No, they know what they're doing, and they're bad people.
You know, it's interesting you brought that, because literally just last night, actually early this morning, I had a friend of mine who's, intelligent dude. He's an attorney. He was saying that the people in Texas and Mississippi are idiots. And I kept telling him, these guys are not idiots. They are insidious. That's what they are, because they know exactly what they're doing when they say, like, we're getting rid of the mask mandate. They know exactly what they're doing. They know that this disease is affecting Black and brown people disproportionately. And a lot of them are running around here with their little eugenicist friends thinking we can wipe them out if we just let this thing spread. So that's not being an idiot. That's just evil.
And that's the thing too, man, is that so many of them like are completely terrible racist sons of bitches. But at the heart of them, what they really are is classist, which obviously, because of how the system has been set up, includes a good portion of the Black community, just because of, well, I'm gesturing around to all of America and how it's been forever, but they don't care about people. Like, to them, they're like, yeah, I mean, if we open things back up, we will be fine, because we, the rich people, can. By the way, me too. That's why I try to be very careful with what I say, because do I want to scream, hey, everybody, stay at home if you can stay home and wear a mask? What I mean is, if you can. I'm in a position to where I can, so I'm going to. But I also know that there's people that have to go down there and work at the grocery store. There's people that have to go work at the. I know that, and I'm not trying to be an elitist asshole about that. But the point is that the governors and these politicians, they are so smart with what they have done for years. Is they have taken working class people of both colors and pitted them against each other, because they know that they can do that shit. And they know that working class people are going to be too busy and too tired at the end of the day to have a conversation with somebody that's a little bit different than them. Because if they had that conversation, a lot of times what would happen is they would go, oh, It's them that suck, not you and not me. And they know they can do that because when these people are saying we got to open back up this economy, they get the working class white people going, see, they care about us. They want our jobs. And they get these people actually defending them, defending a system that has been set up to where if any bad thing happens, we don't have any type of fail-safe to help these people. They should have come out and said, hey, guys, we know you can't go to work and we know that's hard. Therefore, we're going to help you out with the money that was your money anyways. But no, they don't do that because they know that we will sit there and go, screw these leftists. They just want the country to fall apart and get a coupon for it. I'm very sorry screaming.
Man, I couldn't have said it better. Maybe because you're here, people will take what you say with more credence than what I say. Because I've been saying exactly what you said in so many colorful words, eloquent words, crazy words, cuss-filled words, and you said it in a way that I think is going to resonate with people. But when you do your comedy, how are you able to embody the politics of the day, considering we're so divisive currently?
Well, I'm very lucky in that currently on our tour, I had a buddy that I tour with, Trey Crowder, who he popped on the internet 5 years ago, and we got a book deal out of it. And because of such, our shows are very much our fans. Like I haven't done a show in a long time where most of the people already knew who I was. And now when we go back on the road, it's going to be even more because I've got more popular. Therefore, admittedly, every show we've done in the past 5 years has been a corked bat. You know what I mean? Now, there will be some more left-leaning women who bring their conservative husband to the show. He always has a good time, though. He always has a good time because at the end of the day, he's like, oh, hell, you're still country, you know, because I think they find out, I think when a more conservative person comes to our show, they realize like, oh, well, I mean, hell, I believe that. Oh, well, hell, I believe that too. Okay, you lost me there, but that last one was pretty good. But when I grew up doing comedy, before I got fans and before like I said, our shows were pretty well, as the term goes, an echo chamber of people who already believe the shit that I believe. I grew up doing stand-up comedy in the South, having sort of more progressive views. And it's one of those things where I can't teach it. I just know how to do it, like riding a bike, I guess. I grew up wanting to say all this stuff, but knowing that I had to figure out a way to say it so that guy over there won't whip my ass for saying it. You know what I mean? I just had I honestly, like, I'm certain that like both of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about because I've gotten a lot of comments that I know have to be true. I'll say something and like, honestly, 10 or 15 black people were like, dude, you're saying what black people have been saying for a long time. Right. And I'm like, right. It's the unfortunate thing about the society is that when a white guy does it, they're like, let's listen to this feller, you know, but I know that, like, I mean, dude, like,
it's like code switching for white people.
Right, for sure. But dude, and another thing too is like there was that Saturday Night Live sketch with Tom Hanks where he was the Trump supporter, you know, and they were doing Celebrity, or was it Celebrity Jeopardy or White People? I don't remember what it was. And basically, Tom Hanks started saying a bunch of stuff, and Leslie Jones realized, like, oh my God, we're on the same page. You know what I mean? I'm just now starting to realize that, like, I've known for a long time, but like now more than ever, I'm just like, oh my God, as mad as I am. That's literally the baseline feeling for most black people that I've known their entire life. And I'm allowed to get mad for 5 minutes in front of a camera and then let it go and go to sleep. And it's not lost on me that y'all can't do that. And that is where a lot of the trying to forgive myself comes from.
Well, man, we certainly appreciate you coming and everybody watching. His links to his Instagram and his YouTube are in the video description. From there, you can get tickets for when this brother decides to go back on tour. He's very funny, and he's an old school wrestling fan. He's got belts behind him like I got belts behind me. And you guys know, you guys know I love having that on the channel. So, Corey, we want to do a little something fun with you before we let you get out of here.
Sure.
I'm going to post pictures of 3 different politicians. Okay. And I want you to riff on the first thing that comes to mind. Here you go. First one. What you think about this guy?
Oh man, that dude looks like he's just sitting there going like, how can I hold people down next. I've done it so many different ways. Like, doesn't he have the look of oppression on his face? Like he's just trying to. For the record, I don't even know who that is. He might be a good guy, but But now, when I see a politician and I know they're an old white guy, I mean, I have to say that's the only type of stereotyping I'm okay with. Is if I see an old white politician, I'm like, look, there's like 3 of them that are good. He's probably a son of a bitch, and that's how I feel.
That was
he looked
Jeff
like he
Flake.
just shorted a little bit, and he's trying to figure out how he can get out of this committee hearing to go to the bathroom.
that was Jeff
Flake.
Okay, I knew that I knew. I couldn't take it. The name was escaping me.
Okay, here's a good one for you. You'll know what to say about this one. Lord have mercy.
Dude.
Jeez.
With the gun. Jesus Christ. I can't believe she doesn't have a Bible on top of her head that she's spinning like a top hat or something like that.
Oh my God.
While she's just drinking some biscuits and gravy. Like how much more do my people, the working class whites, have to be pandered to than this lady with an AR-15 in front of a cottage? Jesus.
Man.
Did you see recently when she went and put that sign about transgender people in front of a congressperson's office who has a transgender child?
Just to be mean. The thing with that is that kind of goes further than it. Let's just concede, hey, we all have different beliefs. Mm-hmm. Whatever. That was just being a bully. That's all that is. Yeah. That is not, hey, I would like to have a conversation with you because you believe in this and I believe in this, and maybe we can figure out why both. No, that's hey, I want to make you very uncomfortable, and I want to make your granddaughter's existence, which is already kind of a nightmare, even worse publicly, because I'm Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I don't love any type of kids. I scream at school shooting victims.
Bro. And I have to say, I don't advocate for people getting their asses unceremoniously whooped, but if she did,
wouldn't care.
I would just shrug my shoulders and be like,
No,
don't talk no shit, won't be no shit. That's right.
He's not about it, Corey. I've always said if someone is willing to do something evil to you or people who are below you or people in general, they deserve what they get. I mean,
absolutely.
They just deserve what they get. Now, this is the final one I got for you. You'll know this one very well.
Oh gosh.
I mean, that turtleneck son of a bitch, man. Like I can't. He's the type of dude that I don't understand. If you don't know how gerrymandering works, and you know how institutional racism and systemic racism and everything is, look to this man who I swear to God, I've never met a person that likes him, yet he's been voted in every year for 50, 70 years or whatever.
They love him in Kentucky. I mean, I don't understand it, but they love him in Kentucky. He flip-flops left and right. He's as evil as they come.
As a Mark Twain quote that I will paraphrase comes to mind when I see Mitch McConnell, which is, I have never wished death on anyone, but I have read several obituaries with delight.
No.
And I will be
that's great.
I will be that way with Mitch McConnell for sure.
That is great.
Man.
They need to have somebody to run against them that can win. They need to bring in like a son or daughter of Kentucky, like maybe bring in Layla Ali or something, you know?
I don't know what's going to have to happen. I think, unfortunately, he literally will have to die. And as many times as he sold his soul to the devil, and Lord knows, since he's got big pharma in his pocket, I mean, whatever it is that they can use to keep a sumbitch alive, he's got it.
You better believe it, because he looked like the Walking Dead as we speak.
He does. Did y'all watch the remember the first X-Men movie with Hugh Jackman?
Of course.
You remember that? You remember when they had that senator and they turned him into the water blob?
Yes,
he started to explode. That's what that sumbitch looks like, right as he was about to explode.
So, Corey, before we let you get out of here, tell us what you have going on.
Wait, Lamont. Before we get out to politicians, I have one because you didn't put his photo up there, and we have to ask. What do you think about Ted Cruz? I mean, this dude threw his own daughters under the bus, man.
Dude, Ted Cruz is like in every Western, there's always the coward of the county or whatever, the dude that would turn down a duel, or the dude that would just like watch somebody slap his wife and then be like, you shouldn't have been standing there wearing that petticoat. I've told you a million times. Ted Cruz is a little bitch like so bad. Like, I don't get it, man. Like all the like John Wayne fantasies that the average Republican voter has, how can they look at this dude and be like, that's our guy? Trump called his wife ugly and he rolled with it. What a man. Ted Cruz looks like a fart diaper.
And you should have seen his punk ass at the CPAC. Lord have mercy.
I did. I made a parody video of it.
Check that out.
Yeah, which leads me to what I was going to ask you. What can the fans that are going to be leaving my channel coming to yours look forward to from you in the next couple of months on your channel, on your comedy, and on your Instagram?
A bunch of straight up silliness. I do a lot of political satire. I do a lot of there's a wrestling character I've developed called the Buttercream Dream.
I saw him.
He cuts promos on politicians that he hates. I've also got a podcast, Through the Screen Door, which I post stuff on my YouTube page. And also, if there's anybody out there who is a fan of British dramas, I do a Masterpiece Theater review series. Currently, I'm doing Pole Dark. I'm all over the place, man. I'm all over the place.
Look, different from us. We do politics, movies, TV show reviews. Yeah. We've got some pretty big stock portfolios. We do that. And I've been known to turn into Macho Mont, where I become a black version of the Macho Man and pull down one of these belts and do some little funny things. So me and you might have to link up at some point in time.
I'm for it.
So, Larry, what you got for my man so we can let him get out of here? I know he's busy.
Yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to going and digging into your channel and stuff and subscribe to your podcast, man. So, big ups on you. I appreciate y'all
having me.
Hey, man, I always have to say shout out to the allies because, we all need them. I know some people get out there and sometimes it's real tense in the world and people start feeling like, man, F everybody over there. But we all need allies and we appreciate the ones that we have. So,
well, yeah. And for all those people out there that may be listening, that constantly think like, oh, cancel culture's coming for me and you can't say anything right anymore. It's never too late to be a better person because God knows I'm not a perfect man. Nobody's a perfect human being. I will probably mess up again, but we can't control what we used to do. We can only control what we do going forward. And by God, it just quit being an asshole.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's not cancel culture. It's consequence culture. It really is.
It's exactly.
If you say something stupid while you're up there wearing a Verizon shirt because you're at work and you call somebody out their name, guess what? There's going to be a lot of people who no longer want to do business with Verizon. So Verizon's best option, get rid of you. Consequences.
When I was in high school, I told my wide receiver coach to go fuck himself, and I had to run laps.
Consequences. Man, I'm surprised he didn't make you do hitting drills.
I'm sure that I did too. I was also on drugs, which I got in trouble for too. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the man. Viral rant, viral comedy, and everything. Corey Ryan Forrester. Be sure to subscribe to his channel. Check out his Instagram. The link is in the video description. Mr. Ryan Corey, you always have a family home here. Well, anytime you need to get a message out, anytime you need to lay a head down somewhere in North Carolina, you can always come through a brother's house and we'll take good care of you.
Well, I appreciate that. And same, if you're ever in the Chattanooga/Chickamauga area, just give me a holler.
We'll definitely do that. All right, my brother. We appreciate you. Y'all. Be sure to subscribe to his channel and check him out on IG, ladies and gentlemen. Corey Ryan Forrester.
Appreciate you, Lamont. Appreciate you, Larry.
Peace, Corey. legit brother right there, my people. Legit brother.
Good dude.
Good dude. Very funny. And we're going to move on. Be sure to go back and share that with your friends. That was one of our exclusives for the year. I have plenty of exclusives planned for this year with people that are making big waves, trying to better this country and better things. So, Larry, one thing we got to talk about, because we'll be back tomorrow to cover Snowfall, episode 3.
What is Franklin up to?
Tomorrow night.
Franklin up to?
So Larry, let's go ahead and give some predictions for what's going to happen tonight when we get done. But before we do that, let me show you a vicious clip from the very last episode. Then we'll break down what's going to happen. Franklin, Leon, and Skully. boy, it's going to be some hell to pay with Gustavo. But Larry, in particular, let's talk about this crazy ass right here, Skully. Let's talk about him. Now, he's in a tizzy. He's upset with man child, man boy, man boo, whatever y'all call this punk. He's mad with Franklin. And Leon is going to wind up coming into the fray one way or whether he wants to or not.
Yeah.
What kind of a plan do you think Skully is going to be able to execute to take out his enemies, considering that he's a PCP'd up hothead?
Yeah, he's going to, I mean, the reality of it is that he's going to probably end up going after Leon because Leon's probably the most accessible person to him right now. So we know he's not going after the parents just yet because we saw in a clip from as they play the trailers for the season moving forward, the mom's locked up in the back of a police car and the dad's back there looking through. So we know they're still alive. But we've seen some shootouts with Leon, it looks like, and because he's out there, we know everybody knows where he lives. So I mean, but I think Leon's going to end up coming through, getting back right with Franklin. Franklin's going to end up getting back right with him. It's just going to be a matter of who ends up taking out Skully. Is it going to be Franklin and his crew? Is it going to be Man Boy? You know, I don't know. Honestly, I'm thinking by the end of this, Franklin and Leon might end up taking out Skully and Man Boy. Leon's going to get what he wants to be his own man. He's going to end up taking over both Skully and Man Boy's crews and run and getting his own business up like he wants. And Franklin's going to be able to go ahead and supply him. So
I like that. That's exactly where I was going to go with it. Right now they're kind of beefing with each other, but they're going to link back up on some I need you, you need me. And then Franklin can promise all that business Skully and Manchild was doing to his boy Leon, and that could be a great way to unite them back together. But before they get there, when you got a guy that looked like Cuba Gooding Jr. transformed into a dog, it's going to be a fight on your hands, bro. It's going to be a fight on your hands. He's crazy, puts PCP in his ear. It's going to be rough. But that's not the only.
I'll tell you. I hope that dude's up for an Emmy because that dude plays the hell out that role. I mean, that crazy character. I mean, he scares me just looking at him on the screen. And I've been around some people like that back in the day, and I would try and get away from them as quick as possible because they're just so unpredictable. They're scary.
Yeah, he's unpredictable. When you're around people like that, you just gotta keep your eyes on them. Now, Larry, we've got some more stuff going on this season too. It's not just about them. There's some other things going on. Check this out. Is this punk ass Brad Pitt lookalike? Is he going to get tossed, or what's going to happen with him?
He looks like a mix of Brad Pitt and what's his name, Benicio del Toro.
Yep. So that's exactly who he is. So does that mean he's going to get his ass de Toro'd? Is that what you're trying to say?
Out. Oh, he's getting taken out for sure. I'm not sure if it's going to be Gustavo who does it, or if it's going to be, what's his name, the CIA dude,
Teddy.
Yeah, it could be both of them, but dude's getting taken out.
Well, now, do you think they've done enough character development with this guy? The only thing that we know about him is he's the cop. He's really, really evil, and he's willing to off people's family to get what he wants and then kidnap your child for ransom. Do you think that's enough character development to say that he's legitimate?
Nah, he's not getting taken out right away. It's going to be It's going to be a bit. I feel like there might be like one of these big crescendo endings where they have, these just everything comes together in a big culmination of blood and shootouts and everything, where you end up having, an episode where all these stories are sort of converging and the Tijuana police chief gets taken out. Probably Man Boy gets taken out. Skully gets taken out. I feel like there's going to be maybe it might be the last episode. It might be like the last two, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of people getting got at the end of the season. Cause I feel like they're going to build up, cause they have to build up sort of the tension in the relationship between Gustavo and him and Teddy and him so that so it makes sense. Because right now, obviously, we know it makes sense. He killed Gustavo's dude. It makes sense if he goes and kills him. But you know, you gotta build it up so it has a little more oomph to it when he finally gets it done.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed. He's not going to get taken out anytime soon because they want to build him up a little more, and it might be a little bit of back and forth. Gustavo going to take out some of his deputies. He might take out some more people surrounding Teddy and Gustavo. It's going to be a little bit more build up to this fake ass Brad Pitt Mexican version, but we'll see what happens. Now
I'll tell you this though. Gustavo is going to be on some extra hype stuff, boy. I'll tell you, Leon needs to watch his mouth when he's around him. He might find himself just getting shot right there on the spot because Gustavo seems like he's going to be on something.
He might be. But then, Larry, we've got another story that can we safely put this together? So this is a clip that was in the trailer. Now, you know, when black folks pouring out liquor, it means we probably saying somebody has died. So based on that, Larry, are you assuming this is his sweetie pie in the bed? Do you think they lost the baby?
Well, they haven't said on the show if she's pregnant, though. So we don't know if they're going to.
Larry, is she pregnant?
No, she's pregnant in real life, but I don't know if they're gonna play that storyline out on the show. She might end up you know. I'm thinking I could be wrong, but I'm thinking I think Peaches is getting killed.
So you think he pouring out the liquor for Peaches?
Yeah, because I don't think they're taking what's her name out. I don't think they're taking her out.
Well, I'm not saying take her out, but if you kill she can survive and kill a baby.
Yeah, but they would have to bring the baby into the storyline, and they haven't done that yet. It's possible, but it would be a little strange if it was like, okay, I'm pregnant, and then the next episode she's like fully showing. You know,
well, she was pregnant last season.
Was she?
Yeah, she was pregnant last season.
Okay, well then, yeah, they should just go ahead and bring it on in.
Boy, okay. Now, okay.
You know?
Well, we'll see what happened with them. But Larry is already giving his stamp of approval. Peaches is gone.
Yeah, I think Peaches is gone.
Okay. All right.
I think Peaches is gone. I like Peaches, but I think dude's getting taken out. I don't think it's going to be anybody of great significance. And not to say that Peaches is not of great significance, but if it was the Merc, I doubt what's his name would be pouring out any beer for him because he just wouldn't care. You know,
that's a good point.
He doesn't know him, so he would have to pour out something for somebody he actually knows, like Peaches or Leon or Franklin or somebody. We know Franklin's not getting taken out because he's the whole story. Yeah, I seriously doubt Leon's getting taken out. They just started this whole storyline with these two dudes beefing like this, so they have to play that all the way out. They're not going to let him get killed. I mean, that story doesn't make any sense. The only way that makes sense for Leon to get killed is if Franklin kills him, because otherwise you need them to beef and then reconcile and then move on from there. And so he's going to be fine.
And then we've got another person who is owed a debt, Larry. I mean, he's going to have to pay a hefty debt. We got an old officer. I'm going to threaten the black people, even though I'm getting paid from your black son. Came in there and roughed up Franklin's daddy, only to be saved by this reporter who I think, Larry, is going to be collateral damage. But having said that, is Franklin going to make this officer pay by way of killing him, hurting him, or doing something to his family? What you think?
He could, you know, and I don't know what they're going to do with this story, but it could be interesting. I know that what's her name is going to be, she's going to be with us for the entire season, I believe, because she is a known quantity. I forgot her name, but she's not some no-name actor that they can do that. They're just going to off in a minute. I think she's going to be there the whole season. But, you know, and those of you that are not from LA may not remember, but back during this time, they had a drug and a gang unit in LA. They called it the Crash Unit. And they had a number of different ones, but they had crash units and these different sort of gangs, specialty units. But they were terrible. These people were just criminals themselves. They were running around robbing drug dealers, killing them, planting guns on them, all kinds of stuff. And eventually, the way it got broken up is because you had a reporter that started doing a whole lot of investigation, and then they broke the stories. and people couldn't believe how widespread and how terrible it was. And so maybe they're bringing in that sort of storyline to it.
Okay.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they're going to do with that.
Yeah, because, Franklin can't let that go unscathed. You can't be rolling up on people's dad at their place of work thinking you're going to do something. But now, unfortunately, dad has probably entrusted this reporter a little bit. And I don't think her intentions, we know where her intentions lie. It's not with Franklin and his family. So we'll see where that story goes. But I think she's going to be collateral damage, Larry. And there maybe not in the beginning.
All Franklin needs to really do. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think by the end of this season, she will be collateral damage.
She very well could be. She very well could be. But I hope not. I think they're going to let her stick around. But I think Franklin, all he really needs to do to calm that cop down is simply just have his dude drive to that cop's house and just go stand out front while his kids are coming out to go to school and just say, hey, I need to holler at you for a minute, and just tell him, say, you know where my dad works. I know where your wife and kids live. How about we just let each other be,
Possibly.
So
we'll see. Now, here's another one. Nobody want to see this, but we had a clip of Franklin in bed with someone, and I'm telling y'all, it's Tanase, and Larry said, don't trust her. That's what Larry said. Man. Larry said, don't trust him. Don't trust the big button to smile is what Larry's saying.
I don't trust that chick. Something doesn't feel right about her. Doesn't feel right. Like Louie. Louie feels like she's down. This chick, she seems like she's on something else. Like she's just on something else. Like she's a little too slick. She was a little too quick to be like, oh yeah, I know something's going on with you. I know something's up. Come on in. I mean, I don't know most. I don't trust her.
We'll see, man.
It's just a gut feeling. I trust my gut, and my gut says nah.
So you feel like she's laying a trap. She played the round-the-way girl in the very last episode. She took care of Franklin. The thing that made my spider sense go up was the fact that she moved this pager in another room when you could have just put it on that coffee table. You didn't have to move the pager way around the corner. That raised my antenna. She could have just set it right there. Yeah, she could have just set it right there.
She was doing stuff.
Yeah, man, I don't know about her. I mean, she's playing a good role of around the way girl, but sometimes
I'm not even sure that she didn't drug him, because when he came over, he drank a little bit of that tea or whatever he gave her, and then he was just like, "Oh, I'm feeling so whooshy. Oh, she was like, just go ahead and go to sleep. You're tired," and then he just collapsed. Like, I'm not sure she didn't actually drug dude. So
right, she could have.
I don't trust her.
Hey, I'm with you on that. I don't trust her either. I want to trust her, but I can't trust her either. And so for those of you wondering,
I don't like her.
I want to trust her. I don't
like her. I trust my girl. I don't like her.
I want to trust her.
I'll tell you who he could have trusted. I think his little crackhead girlfriend, the one he killed her pops, I think if he would have trusted her right out the gate and said, look, I'm in the game now. This is what it is. I think he could have trusted her.
I don't think it's too late for them. A lot of people feel like they will be getting back together like him and Leon this season.
I want to say maybe, but that's a hard pill to swallow. Somebody popped your dad. She did try and kill him. So you could try and say, well, we're square, but not really, because you did kill my pops, so.
Well, I think the thing is, Larry, she could have killed him if she wanted to, and she didn't. She could have killed him. But she didn't. She shot him in the back.
She didn't shoot him in the head. She shot him in the back a couple times. So, she could have just point blanked him in the back of the head and been done with it.
Exactly, but she didn't. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be doing our live discussion tomorrow at 9 p.m. of what happens on tonight's episode of Snowfall. It'll be episode 3. We'll have Larry, we'll have Muchella, and we'll have Anita the Diva on the show. What? And we're going to cover one more thing for 7 minutes. And Larry touched on it when we had Corey on the show. And that is this bull job right here. Take a look at this. It's frustrating.
States are easing up on measures. And look, I get it. Everybody's had it. We all have COVID fatigue. But what you see in Texas and Mississippi, getting rid of everything right away, right in the time where it's most sensitive in this race between variant and vaccine. Listen to the governor and the reaction he got.
Effective next Wednesday, all businesses of any type are allowed to open 100%. Also, I am ending the statewide mask mandate.
Look, nobody likes what we're doing, but how can you cheer when you've had so many die and so many feeling the toll right now in Texas? Here's somebody who knows. Brittany Smart, a Texas ICU nurse. Thank you for joining us right after your shift. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.
So you are there. When you hear that the governor believes you are ready to have no more restrictions, what are you afraid that will look like in your place of work?
You know, I feel like we finally hit a point where we all started breathing a little bit easier. We kind of saw a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. And I kind of feel like that was shut down. I think we're all pretty exhausted, and I'm scared of what this is going to look like.
Ladies and gentlemen, Biden said it best. Neanderthal thinking, Texas and Mississippi. Neanderthal thinking. One of those states has seen the greatest increase in the new variant. And they're talking about opening and getting rid of mask mandates. But the issue here is they wasn't really enforcing those mandates anyway. So you still have people walking around here with their nose up in the air, not wearing a mask, doing whatever the hell they wanted to do. But the point of it is to show solidarity with the overall plan for the country. You know, this could set them back. You saw that ICU nurse, shout out to Brittany, and the frustration on her face that they're about to do this bull job. And she works in the ICU, and she was just talking about how much they have been bombarded the last 13 months. Larry, is this country going to hell in a handbasket? Because if so, I need an elevator so I can jump off.
Man, I'll tell you, these people are not stupid. They know exactly what they're doing. What they're doing is just evil. It is evil. It is insidious. They know that when they go ahead and lift this mask mandate, that people are going to go out there. They're going to stop wearing masks. They're going to stop mandating that people wear masks inside their stores. They're going to start opening up bars and restaurants, and people are going to get sick. There's going to be a lot of people out there that wish that you had a mask on that don't, when you're not, and they're going to get sick. I mean, you're going to go to places, you may end up going to, if you're an employee, you may go to work and you may want to wear a mask in your job. Your boss may say, no, you can't wear a mask because it makes people feel uncomfortable. So you can't do it. And then you're stuck in this predicament. Do I wear a mask to try and protect myself, or do I lose my job? And I mean, it's just, these people are really, really insidious. They know exactly what they're doing. And it's just frustrating. We don't have enough people vaccinated yet. The vast majority of people that have been vaccinated are white. So we know that these people are out there basically saying we want to put the lives of black and brown people at risk because we either simply don't care about them, or we are actively trying to kill them.
Not only that, Larry, but when you get rid of that mandate, that is one more excuse to get rid of unemployment, to end it early in your state if you decide you want to do so. And you can believe Texas and Mississippi is going to be trying to end their programs quick. Matter of fact, Mississippi has, because they didn't revamp their system and their registry, Larry, there's people who've applied for unemployment last year that still ain't got it.
Yeah, I mean, Mississippi is the poorest, most dysfunctional state in the union. I mean, they rank pretty much at the bottom of almost every category that exists that people track. I mean, it is a horrible state. I don't know why anybody would live there, to be honest with you. I mean, it is, if you're black and you live in Mississippi and you can afford to leave. Get out. It's better for your health. It's better for your kids. It's better for their education. It's better for your mental health. Just leave. I know there's some stuff about Mississippi that people probably love, but it's just not a good place for black people. It's not a good place for white people either, but they're the ones that are in control of everything, causing the problems, so they can deal with what they want to deal with. But yeah. I mean, there's no way around it. You can't try it. There's no excuses to be made. There's nothing that we can say about all these people are just dumb and don't understand it. They know exactly what they are doing, and they're choosing to do this. And people that are up there clapping, saying, "Oh, this is so great! I can open my bar now." Blah blah blah. So yeah, so now you open your bar, and your young white patient, patrons can come there. And they can give back. They can give COVID to your bartender or to your waiter or your busboy who's black or Hispanic, and then they can take it home and give it to their mother or their grandmother or their abuela, or their nana or their whoever. And now these people have died. It's evil. It's flat out just evil. There's no other way around it. There's no other explanation for it. And they don't care. They don't care if they're called evil. They don't even care. They probably know they're evil. They're embracing it. They're just embracing it.
As long as it's not going to cause them any short change in the pocketbook, it's like, F it. What should it matter? But ladies and gentlemen, we're getting out of here early so that you all can have time to go get your popcorn and your snacks to get ready for Snowfall episode 3. We will be in here live with the crew tomorrow to just break it down, discuss it, and talk about it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Go check out Corey Ryan Foster, my favorite country comedian. He will entertain you. He tells it like it is. And he's a white voice for equality. Till that next Sex is Hell video, we'll see you tomorrow.
Peace.